Yeah.
Great forehand.
All right. We good? We on? Awesome. Okay. Well, Frank, welcome to the Real Podcast, my friend. I'm excited to have you on. I've been wanting to have you on for a long time. And this time last year, or close to this time, I was doing a Zoom with you during COVID in the middle of quarantine, and you couldn't figure out the Zoom. You were like, and you had two phones going. You're looking over here. But last time we did the Zoom, I was wearing a shirt, and I wanted to wear that shirt again in remembrance of our good times.
Oh, okay.
And so
thank you. I don't remember that.
he's probably like, why is he wearing a jacket?
I was wondering why you were wearing a
in
jacket.
June.
Yeah, we're matching uniforms.
Yeah. So I'm your
That's
newest.
awesome.
I'm your
Well,
newest
thank you for
employee
doing
now.
that, yeah.
So, well, welcome. For those that don't know Frank is the owner of Fralo's, Bar 301, and whatever else you own. But more importantly, Frank is an advocate for the community, a humble, good man, and a good friend for all of us. And Estefan, who I've known for a long, long time, is a close friend of all three of us. And so what better way to converse than on the Real Podcast? So welcome both of you guys.
We'll keep it real.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And Estefan actually used to work with Frank. In what
Right.
year? Like 1998?
I think he would remember more than I do.
Was I on the A team? Was I one of the first?
We opened in
Close to
04.
04.
How old were you?
And
I was
you might
14.
remember. Right.
As
14.
young as you can be as an employee in Texas.
Correct. As a matter of fact, we're dealing with something like that. You know, I'll share some of that.
Yeah.
The incidents or whatever it is that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Somebody kind of noticed a few young ones working at Fralo's, and sure enough, we got a visit by the labor department.
Wow. Wow. Let's start back. Let's kind of start from the beginning, and then I want to go through COVID, and then I want to go through what we're dealing with now, because I feel like now is a pretty hot topic. But how did you and Lori get started? What's the story behind that?
How much time do we have?
Oh, we got a lot of
Okay.
time.
Wow.
Give me the Cliff Note version of it.
Right. 2004, that's when we opened. In 2002, I got laid off after 9/11. I was working in Germany for a big defense contractor, little one called Lockheed Martin. You know, build airplanes, work on aircraft. That's my trade. That was my training. But always in the back of my mind, I think due to my dad, always had the entrepreneur spirit. Always wanted to sell something, flip something, buy it, and make some money. To me, it's not necessarily the earnings. It's the challenge of making it happen, you know. There's some kind of sense of pride of, oh, wow, either I helped someone, I was able to buy it because the person needed to sell it, and then somebody was looking for it. So I think I'm good on connecting people, whether it's through an item or just a handshake. I couldn't find any jobs in the area, in my field, which was aviation. And back when I was in the Navy, I had a coffee shop and a pizza shop. So the coffee shop was way ahead of the curve, kind of like I was doing what they're doing now. I was doing the pour-overs. I was doing the pretty flower on top. I mean, back in the day, 1995, there were only 6 Starbucks. Oh, wow. So I could have easily purchased or apply to get one franchise from Starbucks or just do it on my own. Now, thinking back, I should have done, the Starbucks franchise, sell it, or whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
But there's some sense of pride, like I said earlier, doing it on your own. I sold 2 classic cars that I did. I didn't go to any bank. I picked up $53,000 by selling 2 cars, and then there we go. So that was open for from 95 to, I closed that in late 1998. During 97, I took over the pizza restaurant next to us. But at 1998, I got into an accident, or I was in a fight. I was still on the reserve, and I broke my neck. So that forced me to close the restaurant, and that forced me to close the coffee shop. So I went back to school, and I was recruited by Lockheed Martin. After 9/11, I came back, and I met Lori somewhere at a bar. She was with some friends, and I happened to remember her name. And we just kind of went from there. And I was supposed to go back to either Aviano in Italy or spend that on Germany. But we went to war, we lost our contract, and now, holy shit, I gotta get a job.
Yeah.
I work for SeaWorld as a diver. I use one of my trades, to stay afloat, to make a living. And Lori and I kind of got into it seriously, and one thing led to another. We got engaged, and I remember my father-in-law saying, "Hey, I support you 100%," and he was in business, so we both come from entrepreneurs families, and he said, "I support you 100%. I don't care if you're pumping gas in a gas station." I remember this. My car wouldn't start when I went to talk to him. So my sister had to drop me off to go ask for my, hand in marriage.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, sister, we're here in a minivan. And I went and talked to him. I set up a meeting. I had to get a meeting, before I talked to my father-in-law. And he said, hey, take it one. I know you're trying to reopen your pizza shop, and take it one day at a time. I said, sure. He said, I support you 100%. Either get married or open your restaurant. I said, okay. So we got married in 2003. We opened 6 months later. So
wow.
I'm glad I listened.
Yeah.
So
what the pizza? So what was the love behind the pizza? There's got to be a reason why y'all's pizza is the best.
Well, thank you.
And it is the best. I will say that.
I appreciate that. I want to say it's different than others. Some items are better than others. But it's all up to people's taste and experiences. So pizza just happened to be what was needed in the area. We even looked into sushi. There was nothing in the area. We used to live across the street from the restaurant, and there was nothing in Lima Springs. It was just Rudy's, and back then it was Albertsons before H-E-B. And also Angelo's. Well, Angelo's had good pizza, but they close at 8 p.m. So I said, okay, well, let's do this. Maybe I can sell 30 pizzas in one day. It'll be my brothers. My mom will make the dough, and I'll deliver, something like that. So 3 brothers and a mom making dough. Well, I opened. My wife and I travel from coast to coast eating pizza. Literally. I mean, we went to the best pizza places, Italian restaurants.
That's a hell of a trip.
Right. We went to Boston, North End. We went to Chicago. We went to Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco. I mean, it was just all we did was eat. And everybody that we talked to, we just picked their brain, and we started dissecting what is it that we like about this place. So that was some good
research.
Business plan or research. Did my numbers on one piece of paper, and they looked okay. So I was basically just buying myself a job. That's a lot of people, when you start so small, you're just buying yourself a job because you cannot find anything else. So we went 2 years without, getting paid, just eating pizza a lot and saving money and making sure that the place took off. So I was just eager to open, and I refurbished the building with my friends, literally overnight, working day and night. And my wife had a great job, good corporate America job, and I needed her help. Once we opened, I even spray paint on a banner. We didn't have a sign. We spray painted Fralo's. Here's a phone number. We deliver. I wish I would have kept that. So that was in 2004, and after we opened, we've been playing catch up.
Yeah.
I don't think we have been ahead of the game, ahead of the restaurant. There's always something that just completely swallow us whole. Yeah. A lot of people just plan for what's coming next. Oh, such and such holiday is coming. We're going to have this special. No, we're just trying to, survive the day, because 30 pizzas that I was planning on selling a day, now it's 30 pizzas an hour.
Well, I think the biggest difference between y'all and a lot of other places is the fact that you're able to actually create that that small town feel experience in the vicinity you're at. Like when you walk up, you park, and it's not even a paved parking lot. It's just like you're parking on gravel. It's like you're pulling up to grandma's house and you're just ready to eat some pizza and hang out with some people. And there's live music going. You get a bar there, and you get another bar next to it. I mean, when you go, what's the first thing that you're experiencing when you first pull up? Like you've been there for a long time. Well, not anymore.
Man,
but
I'm trying to think back of the times that I've been there recently and the times that
and
I've
how
been
it's
there
changed.
when it first opened. It's gone through like 5 different iterations of Fralos. I remember when the inside was completely remodeled, was like maybe 10 or 15 tables, is now shrunken down, but it opened up the bar. It has the wine bar behind it. But going in there,
5 tables. I wish I had 15 tables. 5 tables.
5 tables,
maybe 15 people.
You had the wine rack. Now you have a wine bar,
right,
which is much better. But going into just the experience of walking in there, you have an open kitchen, so you can actually see who's back behind the kitchen, who's cooking in there. Watching them toss the dough, and I think that's where I actually saw the appeal of maybe this is a good opportunity for a first job when I was younger. And seeing the action happen in real time and watching the wait staff go out and helping all the tables. And then I think, Frank, you bring part of the experience to it when you're actually going in and interacting with your customers and checking in on the community. I think that's what really sets the tone for somebody who's looking for not only the experience of having a good pizza, but also having a good experience when they're at a restaurant.
Yeah, because when I eat there, you walk to each table and it's like the entire restaurant knows you. That's something kind of cool. Like you don't get that everywhere. When the owner walks up, hey, how you doing? You guys been taken care of? That is part of the experience that separates y'all from a lot of people. And like you said, there's not that in this area. There's nobody doing what you guys are doing, which is awesome.
Well, I wish, regardless of the food or the type, or I think the whole experience, you have to put it all together. So if you go and the food is great, you go back. If the food and the service are up to par, you love that place. There's people would rather not go back for service than for the food. Mm-hmm. So the food can be half-assed, but they get such great service that, hey, honey, let's go back to the place. Oh, my God, I hate that food. I hate the spaghetti meatballs. I hate that. I was like, yeah, I know, but, Mandy or Sarah or whoever the server is, they're just so nice. I love the music. I love sitting over there. I love to sit under the trees. Mm-hmm. So I knew, I don't remember which pizza place was open. Before me, maybe Rum's. I'm not counting any corporate guys. There was Florio's on Broadway, which we like, and we started going over there too, just to see what it was and what they were doing.
Right.
But I want to sell the whole experience. I know it's probably cheesy when people say, "Oh, when everybody knows your name," but it became where everybody knows your name. People will come in to do a carry out, and if they happen to see somebody from the neighborhood, they would just wave. The other person will wave back and say, "Come over, sit with us." And there's a reason why we didn't do 4 top tables. There's a reason why we put 8 tops and 2 people per bench. So it kind of gets this coziness. People right now hating our tables because they're old. Yes, I know we have to switch them, but the company that we got them from, they're still closed due to COVID. Yes, I can do other style tables, but there's a reason why there's nostalgic about families getting together. Yeah, nobody gets together anymore for dinner, breakfast or lunch, or regardless of culture. I used to be one of them where I had to go home, and if I was in town, I would go and have either one meal, lunch or dinner with my family, sit down, and then just the job just kind of swallow you now. It takes over, and I don't have time for that. Or you eat standing up because we're in this rush thing, But so the experience, the old 100-year-old building, gravel parking lot, and yes, it keeps changing somehow. So.
I kind of know a little bit of the story of Bar 301, but how did that come about? Like, what was that beginning of let's do a bar next to the pizza place now?
About those buildings in 2008, or '07. So if we opened in '04, 3 years later, I got the opportunity to purchase those buildings, and I said I'll probably do something one day. Since we were a BYOB of Fralo's, and everybody would go to HEB because there was nothing else in the area, I figured, okay, so maybe I just do a small wine sale, and they would go next door and pick it up and bring it to Fralo's. So I do a sale, and then I charge you BYOB. So I guess call it double dipping. But that was part of the business because I could not get my license at Fralo's. Well, some day I told my wife, I was like, hey, let's just turn this into a little wine bar or some kind of bar because we're farther away. So in Texas, you got to be 300 feet away to sell liquor, or 300 feet away, and that's property line to property line. Now, Fralo's in 2010, we were able to get our license when I went to apply for the bar. So we got that one first, and we put the bar idea in the back burner. And I said, you know what, let's separate carry out and delivery in one of those buildings so I can concentrate on dining, so I can go faster on dining, so I can turn the tables faster. And it was working out. Once the construction started behind us, that really hurt the business, on top of Uber Eats and DoorDash and all these guys starting. So that's when we started. I went from having 6 drivers to now none. So I think that hurt a lot of delivery business. It's increasing wages. I know we're kind of jumping into that, but so I talked to my wife and I said, hey, let's do a bar. And we apply, and we're literally around 312 feet from the school. So on paper, Fralo's is farther than 301.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. I mean, it creates such an environment. Like I brought a buddy there for the first time. I saw you like last weekend or last week. He had never been. I said, cool, let's just get some pizza. So we sat down and we're eating, and I ordered a beer. I ordered him a beer. We're eating. He's loving the pizza, blah, blah. I'm like, great. You want to go out somewhere? And he goes, yeah, let's go to a bar, man. Let's walk to a bar. We can just walk like 100 feet to a bar. And so he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's a bar right there. Same company, creates 2 different environments. Now you can eat dinner, have your drinks, get a little tipsy, finish your night at the bar, and it kind of makes the whole night fun just staying there. So that's something he thought was really unique in the experience of everything. But I want to jump the gun because I can kind of feel that we probably should, and I can sense it when I was there, was that the place was so busy. And I see every worker just hustling. And I'm like, okay, either one, they're short-staffed, or they're just crazy busy to where everybody's just running. So what's going on now? Like I know that the whole work thing was kind of like the last month was a little different than it was now. So what's your experience? What's the story behind this? I'm curious now.
Well, yes, we were short-staffed, and for us, it's very hard to prepare or to plan ahead when it comes to how many people to put on the schedule. When you were there, 230 tops came in, just walking in. Nobody does that anywhere else.
Yeah.
You don't go to Silo across the street or it's like, hey, room for 30? The whole place will be filled up. So we can sit around close to 300 on our patio. So I guess they feel that it's okay because we have the room. Well, I think we should have put somebody on the way. I think we should have just stalled because the kitchen could not keep up. That's where you see everybody running around like a chicken with the head cut off. We call it control chaos.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So it takes somebody to start juggling and moving the pieces around like a chess game. And if the dine-in is kicking your ass, now you have to slow down your carry-out. I always think that the priority should be dine-in, carry-out, delivery. And the person who is staying home should be the last person to get the food. Well, at this point, that's what's happening. I think COVID has a big impact on employment. The bar have 14 or 15 employees, and now from the original 15, only 2 or 3 came back. Little by little, the bar or the front of the house is increasing. Fralo's didn't lose many. because they're younger. A lot of the parents didn't want them to work there because we were called quote quote essential, so we were able to stay open. But the dining was closed, so we had to use everybody to kind of do something. We were even bagging produce and selling eggs. I mean, the inside of the restaurant became like a small supermarket.
Which came in handy, honestly.
It came in handy, right. I know, and we were able to deliver more than just pizza. To those people in need that, due to medical reasons, they were more fearful of going out. But this COVID pay and unemployment pay just stayed and lingered for too long. I think people got used to not working, and I'm glad that that's about to end this week. And hopefully people will start to reach out. I know many friends that closed down their business due to lack of employment, because at some point somebody needs to or wants to throw in the towel. And I'm not there yet because I enjoy working, but you start giving up or rethinking the opportunities that you had in the past before COVID. Oh, I'm going to open 2 more restaurants. I'm going to do 1 more in Bernie. I'm going to do another bar. And the concept is still there. I finished the building back in November and still just closed, collecting dust because I don't have enough staff. The idea was to overstaff at Fralo's and start picking and choosing to take to the other place. If I interview 10, one works, the other one quits. It's just so hard. And
is that due to the unemployment thing? Is that because
absolutely
they're getting?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
They were getting, or they're still getting, some free money that it equals to X amount of money per hour, depending on what you were doing in the past. But the restaurant business, I mean, if it was 375 or 350, I don't know how much you're getting, or they were getting. I mean, so people fight or the unemployment. We have won every case because it's not fair that they come in, they work for 1 week, and then they go and file unemployment. They'll blame it to the business. They blame it on not feeling safe. So it just became this really nasty habit of not working and just getting free money.
Right.
So at some point, they need to rethink and say, okay, you know what? I don't feel good about myself just sitting at home. And it's more of an ethical or moral thing to do.
Or economical thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. But where I'm going is that some people were forced to raise their salaries or the hourly wages in order to kind of have some retainment of employees. The job didn't change. Making the dough did not change. Putting sauce on the pizza did not change within a few months. You still do the same physical, or it's not a non-skill position. I'm not asking you to cook a medium rare steak and really watch what you're doing. No, you're just basically, it's an assembly line. You put sauce, cheese, toppings, and it goes in the oven.
Yeah.
So why would I raise my wages, drastically? And what people are not understanding is that we have to take it to the customer. So the cost of food is through the roof right now.
Really?
Absolutely. So I think by the end of this year, more restaurants are starting to rethink, why in the hell why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Because it's way too much work for the reward, whether it's economically, the stress, the time away from family. It just takes so much away from you. So I hope not, knock on wood, that they're not dropping like flies. So
yeah. Well, from the outside looking in, I don't know behind closed doors or what's going on in the workforce back there, but from the eater going into a restaurant. It's like, man, this place is busy. They must be doing really well. Like you kind of just assume like people are going to restaurants now, the place is busier, that restaurants themselves are growing more as a business. But I guess what I don't see on the outside looking in is the controlled chaos, and then also like the fact that employees are either leaving, coming in, and you can't predict the size of the party that's going to come in. Like you did the other night was 230 tops. That's crazy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just walking in. I was supposed to be working at the bar, or I was supposed to be working on paperwork, but you can't. You just cannot step away. And, if I had a wish, and a request to people is just to be patient, have patience to the restaurants, and or give them more grace, or I don't know what I'm asking, but they're just venting for the absolutely. I mean, reviews hurt people.
Yeah.
Reviews hurt restaurants, and I forgot what one customer told me. Or every time I come here, they screw up my order. Every time I come here, they screw up my order. And this is happening at another restaurant now, Fralo's. I'm sure we do it too. So stop going.
Yeah.
So if that's your comment to the customer, every time I come here, you screw up my order. So stop coming. So, but don't go and vent, because it happens. I mean, they complain at Fralo's for the gravel. They complain for the tables. They complain because it's crooked. I mean, they complain for the flies. Give me a break.
Yeah, we also eat outside.
Why do they keep going back?
Everything. Right. So, and there goes a review.
Yeah.
That's the hard part right now. And I was talking to Estefan the other day. I know there are so many and out there feeling the same about the reviews and the venting of people. Oh, I waited 2.5 hours. So stay home and cook.
I love it.
If you don't want to listen on the patio, listen to music.
Yeah.
Get out. Because everybody's been cooped up at home for so long. I understand. People want to do it on the patio. I'm not saying no to business. I'm saying come and relax. Don't ruin your own night.
Just be patient.
And just be patient. So we have to retrain. I mean, but it's just one pizza. Well, I'm sorry, there's 50 in front of you. What do you mean it's going to take 2 hours? There's 50 in front of you. I'm not going to jump, move things around just so you can get your pizza sooner or whatever it is. So we had to shrink our menu. We had to take items from the menu because the kitchen used to run with 8 or 9 people. Now it's running with 4, 3, 2 people on a Tuesday. I think you were there on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
It was like a Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, 3 people.
Crazy.
Right. So, and that's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, how come you don't have lasagna? I can find it. If Stefan has something to do to say, I'll find this review that my wife sent me and say, why you do that? Why you send me a review as soon as I woke up or before I go to bed about a guy that is complaining that we don't have powdered sugar and pecans for the cheesecake and all we have is pizza.
Interesting.
At a pizza place.
Oh, man. Well, so what happened with, you said, I don't know if we can get into this or not, but somebody came to investigate on labor.
Okay. So, like Stefan said earlier, Texas allows you to work.
Employment at the age of 14,
14 and
I know
up.
that. 14.
14 and up, and
Dang.
you have to follow certain rules.
Happy my dad didn't know that.
Well, look, go back how many years?
I was looking for it.
Yeah.
I was going there from maybe 10, 12, all the way leading up to it. And going back to that experience piece, my parents were there having their dinners with their friends. And I had my friends, and when my friends didn't show up, I wanted to go see what was going on in the kitchen. And I kept seeing there to be an opportunity for more employees. Like you were mentioning, there's always more opportunity for more employees to be doing things to make the experience for the customers better. And I kept begging Frank, and he was like, "You're not 14 yet. You're not 14 yet." But
right, and your friend Stefan Schluter, and his family's entrepreneur, and I remember he was 10 years old, and he just wanted to pick up trash or to take a pizza to a table or just walk around.
Something.
And
Yeah.
Something. I mean, whatever happened to, hey, I want to teach my son, some work ethic. I mean, if you think how back in the day, I mean, a teenager or not even a teenager, maybe somebody my son's age, he's 10, they will wake up and they probably go and help their father in the field. But now it's so politically and watch over. But yes, so we have hired and employed 14 and up. You have to follow some regulations. They can only work X amount of hours. They have to be off by a certain time. They cannot grab a knife. They cannot do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so pick up trash, take a pizza out. I mean, but they're having fun. I just dropped off a check to one of my neighbor's son. He's 15. Wow. He was thrilled. He earned his first paycheck.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think somehow, I hope that I'm teaching that they don't want to do that for the rest of their life. I don't want to, it's a very hard job, and your lifestyle is completely different. Yes, it can be fun. It's adrenaline driven, but I hope that I can, people think and say, "Holy cow, I'm not gonna do this for this is hard." Okay, Dad, I go back to school. So somebody must complain and say, "Oh my, that place has a lot of kids." I even get letters from their parents. Hey, write a letter saying that your daughter or son is okay to work here, and they get dropped off. They go and pick him up, things like that. But within 3 hours, we had all the push of a button. We press a report. Here's everybody's, hours. But it's just another headache to deal with.
Yeah.
So we send everything back. We haven't heard from the person yet. I hope I don't.
Yeah.
But we comply, and I think somebody just wanted to say something.
That's ridiculous. And when I first introduced you, my biggest thing was, yes, you're a business owner. Yes, you run these businesses, but you're also an advocate for the community. And I think my wife and I really, enjoyed and appreciated that during that time of COVID. It's kind of when I got to know you really, really best, was when you were doing things for the neighborhood, for the community that nobody else was. And that to me struck out. And even to this point, you're not having all the staff come in. So what do? You go back to the community and say, did we have kids that are 14 and up that want to work, want to learn a little responsibility? And that's what you're still giving back in a time where, you probably need most help. And it's like, when I was a kid and I was serving at restaurants, I did exactly what you said. I was like, I never want to do this again. Like, I need to go to school. I need to find some other career. But it taught me work ethic, responsibility, and honestly, teamwork and camaraderie. Like, there's so much to learn in the restaurant industry.
Correct.
And
it's an academy at Fralos.
Yes.
It really is. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because Fralos is like high school, and then your other job is like college. Mm-hmm. So you take your college a little bit different and more seriously, but Fralos is the fun thing you remember, like high school. People always talk about high school. Oh my God, that was my high school sweetheart. Oh, I did that in high school. I played football in high school. But you really don't say that with that energy about, university or college. And you always remember your first boyfriend, girlfriend, your first job, your first car, your first job. So there was some connection there. But yes, giving back to the community, I think, has been one is our nature, both my wife and I nature. I mean, we, from rescuing dogs to volunteering with the San Antonio Food Bank and American Cancer Society and some other San Antonio Zoo, as much as you can, we've helped.
Even the drive. I was telling that's not before you came. The drive-through Fiesta to my family, to me and Alana, during the time when she was pregnant, was just like a day for us to get out of the house.
Absolutely.
Like, gosh, I look back on that day. I'm like, that was a blessing, because Alana was pregnant. She was miserable at home. We've been stuck at home for a long time. And it gave us an excuse to get out of the car and go and just hang out and feel normal for a little bit.
Right. And I planned that together with Tim Moore from San Antonio Zoo in about 2-3 days. I said, hey, what if we do this? And San Antonio Zoo was the first one to do drive-through. So it kind of, spin off from there, and it worked out. A lot of people, it helped. And I'm glad that we were able to, raise some money for San Antonio Zoo, for the San Antonio Food Bank. It was so freaking hot. I was wearing a gorilla suit running around.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just awesome. To create some kind of a show,
attraction.
Some attraction. Yeah. I mean, the line went past Rudy's.
I did a drone video for that, and the line was,
I remember that.
It was so fun. I was like, we should do that again. He was like,
but giving back to the community and staying connected, I think, has been the most productive way of advertisement. I mean, people remember the good things. I was actually with a friend of mine, Dr. Arredondo, and he was a volunteer. He's retired, but he was a volunteer for vaccination. And I was the first restaurant to donate, God, I forgot how many pizzas down to the Alamo Dome. I was interviewed by Cairns 5. We made the news, and it was just something to help, the first responders and to kind of put your 2 cents.
Yeah.
Well, what was very upsetting about that is that out of something good, 2 days later, I'm being really watched, or whatever the word may be, at the bar. Somebody complained that we were not keeping social distancing. And from one ticket to another, $2,000-$3,000 later, 11 tickets, because somebody felt that you were too close to somebody else. But if you watch all my videos and cameras to protect myself, because I knew that was coming, and when I spoke to the police people, I said, I'm here to help the community. I'm remove tables. And this is already open, you know, and people complain, and of course the city has to come and do their job. When other bars downtown that are not following, or were not following the social distancing, because right away we did our homework. My managers went to do those things, and they harass you. So I sat down with the police officers, and I said, hey, look, it really bothers me that you think it's not about the ticket, and it's not about the fine. Yes, that's going to suck because the bar, wasn't making as much money. But it bothers what you think about me. It bothers that you think that I'm breaking the rules, and that you think that about me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of police officers and friends, and they all came to my rescue and was like, who's doing that? Who's over there? Let me see because that wasn't my intention. That's not me.
Yeah.
And I think I really got to them when I closed the doors in the office. Remember, they're there because we're too close to each other. But there's 7 police officers in one 10 by 10 room, and plus me.
Yeah.
So with no mask. So, and that's fine. I mean, they were doing their job. San Antonio people were doing their job. But I think that your name and if it's going to be a legacy to my son or to whoever, it's like, hey, I always did good. I tried to help the community. I was there for everybody, using my platform to reach out to others. So, and I will continue to do it. So as much as I can.
Yeah.
So
what's the plan whenever, you said this week is kind of when that employment thing kind of ends, or hopefully will end?
June 26th. Thank you, Greg Abbott.
Yeah. And so is it going to be a hiring frenzy, or what's the...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if people are coming out to apply to whatever industry, they should have done it a month ago when it was announced.
Right.
Because I wish that we can have that pick and choose. Hey, where have you been doing? What have you been doing the past year? Oh, I was at home doing unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. I want to be on that driver's seat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to, because now they're picking and choosing. Oh, no, I'm not going to go there. We had a girl that said, I'm tired of sitting at home. I'm ready to work. And I thought to myself, holy cow, it took 1 year
Yeah.
for this person
It's a
to,
long spring
1
break.
year, to realize that she was tired of sitting at home.
Yeah.
Okay, she lasted 5 days. She said that we were too busy.
What?
Yeah. So people are spoiled. Sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Making some free money.
And is it both? Is it Fralo's and Bar 301 or just?
Absolutely, both
Okay.
of them. Yep.
And do you
I
think?
was close. I had to close the bar 4 Sundays in a row
Gotcha.
because
crazy.
the bartender and the guy who was working Sundays just decided to not come back.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So the new place in Bernie, do you think that'll happen sometime this year or next year?
I wish it can happen this year. I mean, it's just sitting there.
Let's
Yeah.
rephrase that. If you had full staff at
Yeah.
Fralo's, full staff at Bar 301,
I will open tomorrow.
yeah.
You know?
So it's all based on staffing and hiring.
We're hiring.
Yeah.
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 Fralo's Bar 301. If you're looking for a job, if you're sitting at home and you're ready to
Yeah.
get
And
to work,
Is the one in Bernie kind of a similar setup, or is it just?
No, we're gonna do a spin-off and flip it. You know, Fralo's is known for pizza,
Yeah.
and I wanna have less pizza at the other place and more dishes and more pastas and more proteins, things like that. More of an Italian restaurant, not so much of a pizzeria.
Gotcha. Cool.
Mhm.
That's different. I like that a lot.
And that one will have a full liquor license and it's different feel again. And we have the property next door, so it'll be Fralo's. And then if time and energy
Permits, yeah.
then that'll be hopefully Bar 302. You know,
Ooh,
so
nice.
you have Fralo's Bar 301. They're right next to each other. In Bernie will be the same. You know,
I love it. That's awesome.
great
Yeah,
And
concept.
so-
Bernie's a blowing up area, man. It's such a hot
Absolutely.
community right now.
yes.
I love it. There was one thing that I was going to bring up, and I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So the live music scenes you guys have, how do y'all pick and choose who plays? Like, do people reach out to you, or do you kind of have a certain schedule lined up, or people coming in,
Open mic night.
open mic nights and stuff?
We did that.
So Estefan
for
can
a-
join?
We did that for a while, the open mic, but that backfired.
You get a little, is everybody bad or
wow,
what?
that would be like me singing, and I'm horrible.
Good is a very subjective term.
First, for 301, we thought, holy cow, where we're going to get so many jazz musicians
Yeah.
or blues and things like that. And we only knew about just a handful. Well, the word got around, and now they just send resumes, videos. Hey, I want to play there.
That's awesome.
Same thing with Fralo's. You know, we had the same schedule forever. Wednesdays are pretty much your quote audition, and you don't get paid. We pay you with pizza and beer or wine, whatever you want, and then you make tips.
Yeah.
That's your audition, so you can get on a paid night, which is Thursday through Sunday.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot. We have musicians that come all the way from Austin and Houston to play at Fralo's.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. I still remember that one night you had, where were they band from? They were from a different country, like South America somewhere. And Fabio was there.
Fabrizio.
Oh, Fabrizio.
Fabrizio,
Fabrizio.
sorry,
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
Fabrizio's band.
That's Fabrizio's band.
That's who. Okay, yeah,
Right.
that whole setup was awesome. That
Right.
night was amazing.
Yeah, that was the day before Manu's retirement, yeah. And there was one guy there from Argentina, and we didn't know, but he was a big deal over there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, then that was fun, though.
Nice.
I remember.
That was a fun night.
That was a
yeah.
worldwide broadcast.
Yeah.
at Fralo's.
Yeah, that's right. They did
Yeah.
a live TV from Argentina. Holy
Yeah.
cow. Oh, I forgot. You did a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, I look back on my system. That was a fun night. That was such a good time.
Yeah.
But anything I'm missing that we can cover that you want to get out there and share with the community?
Be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient to restaurants. I mean, I already said that before.
Yeah.
And just come prepared that you might wait a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be so, I don't know, judgmental on to restaurants and bars, to the industry right now. I don't know about any other industry. I mean,
I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty considerate of all restaurants right now, being that you're not the only one suffering this.
Right.
I drive past every restaurant, and it's like they just opened. They have this now hiring sign.
Correct. Everybody.
Everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go.
Well,
Nice restaurant,
I saw that
upscale.
comment, and I texted my friend Tom Curie from Kings 5, and I said, hey, you might want to look into this. Remember I told you this a long time ago, and sure enough, he did a piece on this, and I saw it coming. I mean, I think I called it the new pandemic.
Yeah.
It was going to hurt more than you think.
Right.
So hopefully it stops, because, like I said, people want to throw in the towel, and I don't know. So I want to get back to that's my normal.
Yeah.
I want to have some
fun.
I mean, I'm back on working, 16, 18 hours a day, just like when I opened, 18 years later. Right.
Well, great food and amazing experience, worth being patient over, I'll tell you that much. But Frank, thanks for coming on, my man. I appreciate your time and all the words of wisdom you have. I look up to you a lot, and so is Estefan as well. And thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's a wrap.
Cool.